In the earliest myths of Mesopotamia, scribes wrote of a distant, sacred land, a pure, bright island paradise where the sun rises, a place free from sickness and death. It was the land of the living, a semi-divine place sought by heroes like Gilgamesh for centuries. Modern scholars thought it was just a myth. They were wrong. This mythical paradise was real. It was the civilization of Dilmun for centuries. This forgotten Bronze Age powerhouse, centered in modern-day Bahrain, controlled the vital trade routes of the Persian Gulf, becoming fabulously wealthy from the trade in copper and precious frankincense. This is the story of a civilization that was both a thriving commercial empire and a legendary land of myth. Our story begins not in Dilmun itself, but in the great cities of Sumer and Akkad in Mesopotamia. In their worldview, Dilmun occupied a special place. It was the land where the sun rose, a source of exotic and essential goods, and a place intricately woven into their mythology. The hero of their greatest literary work, the Epic of Gilgamesh, travels to Dilmun in his quest for immortality. Sumerian poems described it as a pure and virginal land, blessed by the god Enki, where the raven utters no cries and the lion does not kill. This mythical reputation was deeply connected to its real-world function as a reliable and prosperous trading partner, a haven of stability in a volatile ancient world. The real Dilmun was a collection of territories centered on the island of Bahrain. In the Persian Gulf, its strategic location was its greatest asset. It sat perfectly positioned as the middleman, the central hub connecting three of the great civilizations of the Bronze Age: Mesopotamia, the land of Magan, likely Oman, and the distant, enigmatic land of Meluha, now known as the Indus Valley civilization. For centuries, Dilmun was the nexus of this international trade network. It was a place where cultures, languages, and goods mixed freely, creating a unique and sophisticated society that grew fabulously wealthy by controlling the flow of the ancient world's most vital resources. The archaeological heart of Dilmun is Qal'at al-Bahrain, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here, archaeologists have unearthed a large, well-planned Bronze Age city that was continuously occupied for millennia. The city featured impressive public buildings, large warehouses, and a complex system of streets, all testifying to a highly organized and prosperous society. The people of Dilmun were skilled artisans, producing distinctive red pottery and, most importantly, their unique style of stamped seals. These seals were not just decorative. They were crucial tools of administration and commerce. Unlike the cylindrical seals of Mesopotamia, Dilmun's seals were circular, like a button, and were pressed into clay to mark ownership of goods, authorized transactions, or sealed documents. Thousands of these seals have been found, not just in Dilmun, but as far away as the Indus Valley and Mesopotamia, providing direct physical evidence of their vast trade network. Each seal was a unique marker of identity, a signature in a world where many were illiterate. The widespread acceptance of Dilmun seals across different cultures shows the immense prestige and trust that Dilmunite merchants commanded They were the guarantors of quality and fairness in the Bronze Age global economy. With their sophisticated cities and a system of trade built on trust and prestige, the people of Dilmun became the undisputed masters of the Persian Gulf. But what were the precious goods that built their civilization and made them legends? If this intriguing tale of a forgotten commercial empire has captured your imagination, I invite you to consider subscribing to the Dusty Codex. Your support is essential in helping us bring these profound histories to light. Before we explore the commodities that made Dilmun rich, I'm curious, what do you find more fascinating, Dilmun's mythical reputation in Mesopotamia, or the archaeological evidence of their sophisticated society? Let me know in the quiet comments section below. The engine of Dilmun's economy was its control over two vital commodities. The first was copper. Mesopotamia, with its advanced cities and armies, had an insatiable demand for copper to make bronze, but it had no native sources. The nearest major supply was in the land of Magan, modern-day Oman. Dilmun positioned itself as the essential middleman. They sailed to Magan, purchased the raw copper, and then transported it north to the great Sumerian cities like cuneiform tablets from Mesopotamia record these transactions in detail. Speaking of vast quantities of high-quality copper arriving on Dilmun ships, the second, and perhaps even more luxurious, commodity was incense, particularly frankincense. Sourced from the remote regions of southern Arabia, modern Yemen, and Oman, frankincense was a priceless aromatic resin used throughout the ancient world for religious rituals, medicinal purposes, and as a luxury perfume. Dilmun controlled the maritime routes for this lucrative trade. They were the gateway through which the sacred scent of the south reached the temples and palaces of Mesopotamia. This control over both a strategic industrial metal and a priceless luxury good made Dilmun fabulously wealthy and politically indispensable. Perhaps the most visually stunning and enigmatic legacy of Dilmun is not its cities, but its cemeteries. The northern part of Bahrain is home to one of the largest ancient necropolises in the world, with tens of thousands of burial mounds dating back to the Dilmun era. These mounds, ranging from small hills to large, complex structures for the elite, were meticulously constructed. Each contained a central stone chamber where the deceased was laid to rest, often in an alcove, accompanied by grave goods to serve them in the afterlife. The scale of these cemeteries suggests a stable, prosperous population over many centuries and a deep preoccupation with honoring the dead. Like all great Bronze Age powers, Dilmun's golden age eventually came to an end. The precise causes are complex, but they were likely tied to the wider Bronze Age collapse that affected the entire Near East. Around 1200 BCE, the great empires that were their primary customers, like the Kassite dynasty in Babylonia, declined, disrupting the trade networks that were Dilmun's lifeblood. Over time, new powers arose and trade routes shifted. While Dilmun continued to be inhabited and was known to later empires like the Achaemenids, its golden age as a dominant, independent commercial power was over. For centuries, Its true significance was forgotten, buried beneath the sands of Bahrain, its mythical reputation overshadowing its historical reality, until 20th century archaeologists began to uncover the stunning truth of the lost civilization of Dilmun.